Hi, I'm Anna Mdee. I'm Professor in the Politics of Global Development from the University of Leeds. I've been working on African agriculture for more than 20 years, particularly in Tanzania, but also in other countries in sub-Saharan Africa. I look at agricultural livelihoods in the broadest sense, but particularly look at water and access to water. And in recent years, I've been working on the politics of irrigation. Irrigation is changing across Africa. I think previously there's been a focus on large irrigation schemes, and many of those schemes have failed. And we've done a lot of research on why those schemes fail. But what is happening with African irrigation is that there is a rapid rise in farmer-led irrigation. Farmer-led irrigation means that's not organised schemes, it's individual farmers investing in technologies with which to access water for irrigation. It could be as simple as hose pipes, like the farmers that I've worked with on the Uluguru Mountains, who use hose pipes plugged into the streams essentially to drive sprinklers. From their sprinkler-based irrigation, the farmers are producing high-value crops such as strawberries for sale in urban areas. It could be shallow well cultivation, like it's happening around my husband's village in Kilimanjaro region of Tanzania, and local entrepreneurs are coming in, renting land or buying land from the elderly people who've held the land since the 1950s, and they're cultivating large crops of onions, for example. Again, another high value vegetable crop. But this is a sort of different pattern of agriculture. And we have a problem. We haven't made, or African agricultural systems and governments don't have policies to deal with this new reality of irrigation. Policies designed under things like integrated water resources management, which of course are key to the SDG 6.5, don't account for current complexities of irrigation patterns. They work on the basis of water users and stakeholder groups who will be brought together who may have shared interests or can discuss the interests and share water in collective institutions. But farmer-led irrigation isn't going to work like that. It's a much more differentiated, individualised process. And the sorts of laws and regulations that we have around water at the moment are just not fit for purpose. And that's one of the bigger messages, is that external actors in Africa are too busy making policy recommendations that are not based on detailed contextual knowledge of how systems are evolving and changing. And African governments, because often are having an interest in external funding, are making policy for the consumption of outsiders and not for the actual complexities of how their agricultural systems are changing and evolving over time. Policies are also tending to be made based on fantasy, based on fantasies of large-scale production and reductions in smallholder agriculture and reframings of agriculture towards export-led production. That's not where most production is in Africa as yet, and therefore policies again need to talk to the complex and increasingly differentiated realities of African rural livelihoods. So that's my message. Donors, external players, actors, researchers such as myself need to take a step back from making policy recommendations when and if we do not understand the rich, detailed complexity of agricultural systems. And African institutions need to work with the reality of those systems, rather than assuming that blanket policy recommendations are going to be possible or even transformative.